Hey, people linked here, 1v1, Jarilo's Forge, blue side. It's Kickin with a Techmarine, starts off in ranged combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair. Up against, on the red side is Man of Faith, also known as Tex, with a Warboss, a melee hero that walks through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines, the Blood Axes, elite scheme here. Got double shooters for Tex, into some tactical marines of course for Kickin. But where is everyone going to go early? Looks like the scouts going to try and get the northeastern VP. We have 3 contested victory points on this map. Warboss most likely goes mid. The Techmarine maybe goes to the southwest one. Oh, it looks like they're going to the rec point actually. Tacs are going to go where? Southwest or support the scouts? Going southwest for now. Scouts have now spotted trouble though. Shooters and sluggers here. Sluggers want to try and block line of sight if they can. Warboss is going to harass the scouts, I think. They can't let him get too close, because if he gets too close he'll kick into his melee charge and then they can't avoid him. Just tickling him a little bit with those bolt guns and then backing the hell off. Tactical Marines are up here to help. They should be able to deal with the Warboss altogether. The sluggers take the opportunity to grab the VP. Techmarine here has finished that cat. They can now help shoot down this Warboss. There we go. Are the tactical marines chasing him? They are. Down to half hit points. There is a garrison right here. Techmarine goes for it. Nope. There we go. That was a special attack, not a stomp. Single cap very early on for the Orks. They do have a generator up too. I think Kickin is wary of putting one up when there's sluggers right here. They found the tactical marines, as have the shooters. Double shooters in fact. Those guys go for the garrison. You guys have burners on the way? You do. These guys could be in trouble, these tactical marines here. Warboss getting very low. Oh, killed a scout. Well done. How do you manage that? How did they get close enough? It's going to decap that fully matured rec point now. Tactical marines slipped away. Sluggers now have their burners. Gives them literally a couple of burners for fire stuff. Also, they count as power melee weapons. So this could be rough on retreat here. Might get a model off these tactical marines. I think they're a little bit lucky to get away without a model loss there, but they're straight on the power here, the Orks. Warboss still harassing the scouts. They're going to bash the node, maybe even decap it, and Kickin into some devastators here, going straight for their advanced targeting. Wonder if we'll get scouts after it. Do the scouts have shotguns yet? No, that was the first power purchase, those devastators. Now grabbing that power at the bottom. Scouts trying to get this rec point back. Can these guys set up in time? I think they can. Big shooters up on the shooter boys, trying to avoid the suppression. They got suppressed, and now the Techmarine shooting them up. Maybe we'll see that mastercrafted bolter help control those sluggers and the Warboss, of course. Warboss is now healing up. Sluggers trying to make it in. Oh, they used their vengeance rounds, which don't suppress. Do some really good damage, but they don't suppress, which allowed the sluggers to get in there. Almost got to model again, maybe slightly lucky. I think they were slightly lucky to get away without a model loss there. Heavy cover to heavy cover shooting at point blank range. Techmarine winning the fight. As you might expect, these guys cutting out the cover now. There we go. Some Daka, and here comes sluggers. Still have 5 models here. Ouch. That was a powerful sweep from Bionics. Maybe we'll see a melee Techmarine then. Awesome. In tier 2 you can get a pretty fancy axe of the Mechanicum power axe. Sluggers get away, yes they do. Full gens up now. So I'm guessing... Oh, we got Storm Boys. Tex is going to try double shooters and sluggers onto that power again. Use the Storm Boys and the Warboss to keep things busy and harass. In the meantime, looks like Kickin had the same idea to go for power. And get a flamer, of course, for the tactical marines to make power bashes nice and quick. Storm Boys here are jump troops with power melee weapons. In tier 2 they can get a very mean knob leader with heavy melee and causes a stun on jump. Have some really cool passive jump animations into combat like that. Warboss is down to half health. Went for a cheeky grenade those scouts. They don't have their shotguns. Oh, we got the enhanced custom shooter, eh? For the Warboss with shoot 'em good. We're going to see, I imagine, a full power bash here. Not a whole lot that Kickin can do about it. Where are the Devastators? They must be in the garrison somewhere. Got some more Devastators on the way. No sign of a mastercrafted bolter. No sign of shotguns either. There's lots of Daka, lots of fire. They should get them all, I think. Techmarine is getting shots in. Going to kill a Stormboy soon. No, maybe not. They retreated. I think they get away without a model loss. It's a small Orky miracle. Rebuilt the power. Devastators are here now. Here come scouts with a cheeky retreat grenade, perhaps. That's a lot of bashing. Not only do you lose your power income, of course, but you have to spend 300, 400, 500 requisition to rebuild all that stuff. You would have got some resources back for those generators that didn't complete, but still very expensive. There's a lot of requisition to rebuild all that. Going to delay their tier 2, and there is the tier 2 from Tex. We do see Flamer Tactical Marines though to try and swap power bashes. We see them ground targeting to hit both of those things. Where are the Devastators? Are they there? They are. Storm Boys are going to jump them, but there's more Devastators behind. I'm not sure if Tex knows about the second devs. Warboss doesn't have the charge, no. Could use shoot 'em good on the lead model to mess up the heavy bolter. Goes straight for the Tactical Marines, in fact. Does not use the enhanced custom shooter. Storm Boys looking for an opening. They're going to jump the back, but they are low already. That they could die. I think they're going to go down. Tactical Marines might need to melee. No, I think they'll be okay. I think they're going to go down. Be okay in, yeah, that they don't need to melee them. That was the powerful sweep from the Techmarine standing near the Devastators to help them out. And I think the Sluggers are done for here. Can they get away? Maybe. They're right at the edge of the firing arc. Oh, just about went down. Very close to escaping. That was a good fight for Kickin. I think the Warboss could have been used a little bit better there with his shoot 'em good to mess up the front Devastator. And then the Storm Boys could have jumped the back one without taking quite so much damage. And then you pile in with the Sluggers and pile in with the Warboss in melee. Gonna get a full power bash here, Kickin. Maybe even a decap. Double Devastators are still here. Susceptible to a flank though. It's stick bombers in tier 2 for Tex. This fully ranged army for Kickin. Should be quite vulnerable to stick bombs. Knob leader up for the shooter boys now. They're up against scouts in heavy cover, and these guys mostly don't have any cover. A little bit of light cover there. They're going to drop a model to the scouts. They did. They shouldn't have dropped a model there. Must have been busy looking down here. It was indeed decapped. Warboss goes for that southwestern VP. These fellas decapping the wreck point. Center is uncapped. Techmarine, still no more war gear for this guy, level 2. Warboss still level 1. You know, getting XP for capping. Here are your stick bombers. They can throw stick bombs, as you may expect. Also stun bombs, and they're pretty decent in melee. Stun bombs can help you set up the stick bombs, so you'll often see the stun bombs thrown first, and then immediately stick bombs straight after. They throw 2 lots of them, but they're not the most accurate. I'll get them in the general vicinity of what you want. Techmarine. Did he scare off the shooters? Maybe they dropped another model. Shooters need to maybe suppress the Devastators here with their aiming. What's that? They suppress the Tactical Marines instead. Stick bombers looking for a target. There we go. And those are the stick bombs. They have a very short fuse, and they took out one of the Tactical Marines there. There we go. There's a stun bombs. You can tell they're stun bombs because they have a much slower flight time, and they don't have a fuse. That's probably too late by the time they land to figure out what they are. Just look at the flight time. Also, they only chuck 1 lot of stun bombs, not 2. There's the tier 2 for Kickin. And I was going to say, maybe some more Storm Boys from Tex would be fun, because they still have double devs and tax, and Storm Boys should do pretty well against this roster. Warboss onto those scouts again. Nope, they shoot them good. Stuns the single target, does some decent damage. Eats a grenade. Well played by Kickin. Here's the second Storm Boys. They're probably going to get Knob Leader immediately. No, they go improve the rocket packs immediately. That gives them longer jump range and allows them to kamikaze one of their models into explosive glory, do some damage and disruption. Good way to start a fight, typically. Turn one of the Storm Boys into a bomb, and they are getting their Nob Leader. The big fella with a big old heavy melee axe. A huge chopper, as they call him, I think. There he is. Now they will stun on landing. So you can jump one and stick bomb the other. There's the jump. Stun didn't have an effect because they were retreating. There's stun bombs. Didn't hit anything. You can actually stun vehicles with that too. Here's a Razorback from Kickin. I'm not sure I agree with that. I thought maybe we'd see a Librarian and or a Dreadnought. I feel like a Razorback is just going to get countered by Tank Busters. Because remember, you will have Tank Busters if he gets them, if he wants them. And they can be afforded immediately. As well as the stun bomb to set it up. And of course, a heavy melee Stormboy potentially on rear armor with Warboss buffs. Techmarines in the garrison annoying some stick bombers. Stormboys are persuaded to leave the power. They got one of the gens, it looks like. Here's your Razorback. Gonna need to be very careful with this thing. Tank Buster Barrage. Might be able to one-shot that thing if it gets enough rear armor hits. No sign of Tank Busters yet. Did they see it there? I'm not sure if Tech saw the Razorback. I think those guys maybe retreated too soon to get vision of it. Maybe they can hear stuff breaking. Oh, they're getting a Weird Boy here. Nope, cancels the Weird Boy and does go for Tank Busters. Warboss grabs the northeastern VP. Tank Busters into Weird Boy would be good though. Tactical Marines have their Sergeant, so maybe they'll become Stern Guard veterans soon. Kickin tries to ride this to tier 3 maybe. I'd love to see a Dreadnought come out before that, although they have a decent amount of red, and a Venerable Dreadnought would be even more fun for me, but I guess Terminators are the safer pick. Especially if they can out-tech the Orks here before they can get flash kits and knobs and stuff. The Terminators will soak up a lot of damage. Because if he goes tier 3 now and gets a tank, Tex just gets more Tank Busters, and that tank is screwed pretty much. There's a Tank Buster Barrage immediately. It costs the red resource Warg to use, and is incredibly powerful. You can hit it right. The Razorback backed out of that one. Stun bombs going in, and it did hit the Razorback. It's not a very long stun, but even just a second or so is a lot for a vehicle. Stick bombs harassing the devs. Might see some shoot 'em good. I think he's just using the Warboss in range stance there. Storm Boys. There's user choppers, giving a melee skill and a melee damage buff to Storm Boys from the Warboss's global bar. And look at the Razorback already. Can they get another barrage in? There's stun bombs, and they actually hit it. Sets up the barrage. There it is. Can they move in time? I think they were still stunned, and it goes down. Did not last too long. Great job from the Storm Boys. Excellent stun bomb usage as well. And now they're power bashing. That was a really good engagement for Tex. Here comes a drop pod for more Tactical Marines. And round off tier 2 with a Librarian maybe. Help support the Devastators with Veil of Time. Help support the Tactical Marines as well if they get into trouble. And I'd love to see a melee Techmarine go in swinging with his axe. Where is he at? He's at the southwest doing stuff. I'm sure it's all very important stuff. Warboss flees and gets away okay. Now has the boss pole to keep those sluggers and those Storm Boys in line if they're close enough. It is indeed a Weird Boy now for Man of Faith. Ed Banger is a pretty apt description of him. Needs to be a little bit more mobile, I think, with these Devastators. Can't just sit them in the mid. They're just going to get stick bombed and jumped. And where are the shotguns? We do have shotguns, okay. No Mastercrafted Bolter, no axe. I feel like the Techmarine could be done a little bit more, but I guess they have their eyes on other things and they've got to reinforce stuff. Here comes some Stone Guard veterans. Can use their Hellfire rounds to heavily damage all this light infantry. Here you are. First Company Marines that can change their ammo type to combat all targets. Just loading in their hellfire. You can tell by that skull, they're acid rounds that do damage over time. But they only affect infantry and commanders. Regular infantry, that is. That was some good friendly fire from the weird boy. Trying to come in from a slight angle here. See, this orange circle is from the boss pole. So you can clearly see what's affected by it. Pretty good range, as you can see, those stick bombs being affected. They got rid of some of the tactical marines there. We now have the mastercrafted bolter for the Techmarine. Just suppressed the weird boy there and got a good chunk of damage in. There's that warp vomit. Storm boy's jumping in. Straight into another devastator though. Yeah, it took tons of damage. Surprised at that because there was a clear path around this side to get to those devs. Forces those guys off. And that's a look at the damage that these Stone Guard veterans are doing. Can they get onto the power now? Switch to their vengeance rounds, get onto the power. There is still a threat though. Some tank busters, which will be useful for disruption and namely stopping caps and stuff, even though there's no vehicles around. Their barrage will knock back infantry. As you can see, the Stone Guard veterans do not want to fight the stick bombers in melee. They're pretty good at it. They have really high melee skill as well. There's hard boys and use your choppers on them. Not often you see it put on stick bombers, but certainly scared the crap out of those tactical marines. Look at this though. Kickin, doing a good job with the scouts here, grabbing the map when they can. Level 2 scouts. I don't think I've seen them use their shotgun blast. Maybe they'll use it here. There it is. Can they kill one? There we go. 322 to 162. They should. Why don't they make a shotgun that has like explosive bolter rounds in it? Maybe they do. I feel like you don't hear a lot about shotguns in Warhammer 40k. There must be a super fancy special one, like a melter shotgun or something. I think I've asked this before, but do scouts have a shotgun option in the tabletop? I certainly don't remember hearing about it. Probably some Imperial Guard stuff or Inquisitorial henchmen have shotguns and that kind of thing, I'm guessing. Maybe some R-Bikes models. Gonna see a big old warp vomit. Suppression into that vengeance rounds. Here come scouts. Maybe looking for a grenade on the suppress units. No, they get out of it. Level 3 Warboss, and there's the tier 3 for Kickin. But what do they get in tier 3? They do have a fair amount of red. Not sure what he's used his red on. Oh, the drop pod. Uh-oh, Foot of Gork. I think it missed everything. These guys not using their cover. These shooter boys, very brave. That's a good grenade into the back lines there. Killed 4 or 5 orcs. Lots of war for the weird boy to feed off. Tank buster barrage. Oh, on the node. There's that stunning Stormboy jump. I feel like a tank is just going to get tank busted, basically. Especially with all the other soft AV around. Maybe they are waiting for Terminators. But they could do some work with their assault cannon or their flamer or something. Get lots of inspiration buffs going. Soak up a hell of a lot of piercing damage. We need to be careful of the Storm Boys still. But you can protect them with scouts maybe. And with general Devastator position, and they can't jump everything. Maybe we'll see a venerable dreadnought. 333 red. Maybe. This guy's very slowly bashing the power here. He's getting it done though. I think they're going to bash it all. There it is. Level 3. Techmarine now has the refractor field. Unique amongst shields in that, as you can see there, it debuffs the accuracy of those that shoot him, but it doesn't give him knockback immunity as all other shields like that do. Cool little trade-off there. Scouts couldn't quite get the decap because of all the DACA. It's a Death Dread from Tex. Looks like they are content to stay in tier 2 for now. Is the Stone Guard level? Not quite. What about the other attacks? Level 2. Just ate a big Weird Boy shot. Dev's forced to retreat immediately. Yeah, he's got nothing to get in the face of the Orks. Maybe Assault Marines would be good here. Just to kick off the fights and give Tex something to think about in his back lines. I mean, they're going to be counter-initiated by knobs quite hard. But these aren't leveled up knobs, and a Merciless Strike will set them right. The Warboss doesn't have any of his scary melee weapons either. I think Assault Marines and a Librarian maybe. But they're in tier 3 now. So how about a Venerable Dreadnought and Assault Marines? That'd be fun. There's Shoot 'em good. Shoots 'em pretty good. Tank busters are decapping. That is a Venerable Dreadnought. Awesome. Unique to the Techmarine. 1750 hit points on this guy. Has melee weapons and can charge. Can also get the Dark Age of technology. Inspiration on kill, but there's nothing there to be inspired. Shooter boys, sorry, Storm boys jumping into double Devastator fire. We'll see if the tank busters can deal with this guy. It's a lot more health than a Razorback, but it can only attack at close range and can use its charge to get away potentially. Look at that damage on that hit. Got stunned. Stick bombs for the Stone Guard now. It's such a risk to try and dodge it, because even if just one stick bomb hits you, it usually knocks you into some others. So if you want to dodge it, you gotta try and dodge all of them. Otherwise, it might be better off retreating. Here's more tank busters for Tex. And that's going to be rough for the Venerable Dreadnought. No Assault Marines to get into the back lines for it. Disrupt and tie up those tank busters. And here's that Death Dread, of course. A melee walker for Orks can get an upgrade to give it some burners and some more health, but we don't see that at the moment. It's cheap and cheerful though. No way it can stand against a Venerable Dreadnought, that's for sure. Techmarine is capping the mid. Meanwhile, 188 to 112 on the VPs. Venerable's getting hits in. I think the Death Dread is just leading it back into death here though. There's double tank busters waiting here. We now have a melter gun Techmarine. Down goes the Death Dread. Might switch back to the bolter now. Look at those tank busters raining rockets in. Warboss also now has a power claw, so he's a big threat in melee. He might be too far into the game for Assault Marines to be able to hang into fights, you know. So if they meet this level 3 Warboss, they're not going to last very long. And the Storm Boys are now level 2. Crack. That damage on that retreating Techmarine, that's nuts. Can they finish him off? Maybe. Got to plant their feet and shoot. Not doing it. Planting your feet and shooting gives you more accuracy. Can help you finish off things. I think they would have got the finish there if they did. Devastator's down to a single model. They are reinforcing. These guys are also down to a single model. Kickin is stretched on their power, and the Dreadnought needs repairs, and he's not getting them. There we go. Techmarine's now repairing. Scouts have died somewhere. Didn't see that. Tactical Marines died down there too. They missed all the things as usual. Oh, the Scouts died up here. 2 Storm Boys, it looks like. Wonder if they got the Tactical Marines too, because I was busy looking at the Dreadnought. Guffawing over the Dreadnought. What is this now? More attacks, I guess. I mean, Tax will do a solid job for you, and they're good at capping. And they'll trade well with tank busters, obviously. There's the high-powered shot on the Weird Boy. Venerable goes after him. As you can see here, the Warboss, despite having a heavy melee weapon, does not want to go swinging with the Venerable because it's a vehicle armor, obviously, has melee resistance and will smack down the Warboss. Same thing with Storm Boys, they don't want to fight the dreadnought either. The stick bombs have been awesome. Attacks straight back onto the VP. There's a tank buster barrage. Forces them off the cap. I'm not sure if both of them needed to do it though. Venerable is not getting repairs here. Techmarine's thrown the shield up. Trying to get a decap. It's not going to work out. 147 to 110. Storm Boy is going for a little flank. There's a foot of Gork and they're going to retreat right into it. Crack. Those were level 2 Stern Guard. And they were retreating. Might have got a wipe if they weren't retreating there. It's a good, powerful sweep. Might take out the Storm Boys. Maybe. It's going to be close. The Venerable doesn't seem to want to fight. Wary of where those tank buses are, I suppose. The Storm Boys do get away. I don't know if the Dreadnought's going to get away from this though. Charges in, does not charge out. Charges into the Orks. So he's ready to fight and die, I think. The Techmarine's gone down. Down goes some Devastators as well. But the stick bombers were wiped, and here we see the Stoicism, the final stage of the Venerable Dreadnought's life. And there it goes. Gets 10 seconds of super badassery before it goes down. Well, that was rough for Kickin. Oh, we got some Assault Marines up. Jump troops. That disrupt when they land like this. This could have been really useful in tier 2, I feel like. I mean, there were sluggers and stuff around. We'll see what kind of difference they can make here. That was a good opening for them. They're going to retreat and try and finish off the Shooter Boys. Sorry, jump and try and finish off the Shooter Boys, and they do. 142 to 110. Storm Boys, of course, did get away. They're fully reinforced onto that northeastern VP now. Kickin will most likely repurchase the Techmarine here, I think. Is that the most impactful thing they can get onto the field? I think so. They're getting their Sergeant up first for the pretty awesome Merciless Strike. I mean, it gives you another model with a Power Sword as well. Gonna get a 2 to 1 here, Kickin. And if the Assault Marines can jump in, control the Weird Boy and stuff, get in the faces of the other shooters, remember the chance. Here's a Pain Boy. The Warboss is going to be a big problem though for those Assault Marines. He's got his spiky armor now. Storm Boy is obviously a big threat, especially if they don't hit their Merciless right. They're jumping in very bravely. And then backed off. There's the jump from the Storm Boys. Ard Boys up on them. Heavy melee headbutt there from the Knob Leader. They're going to turn and fight the Assault Marines. Warboss is going after them. Warp Vomit on these attacks. They're getting messed up. Stern Guard in there too. Here's the fight. Bad news for those Assault Marines. Really bad news. You know what? They didn't lose a model. That's amazing. Down to 150-ish hit points at 4 models is pretty nuts. Pain Boy up. This guy can heal over time allied Orks. Also do some surgery and stuff. Got his stronger Git source for tier 2. His heal did get toned down a bit in 295, but it's still pretty damn good. 2 to 1 for Kickin. Techmarine locking down the northeast, but they are grabbing the southwest, the Orks. Here comes a war truck now. Lots of healing for the Assault Marines to do, but they don't have time to do it. They're coming out at half health, which could lead to some very quick deaths if the Warboss or the Storm Boys get hold of them. Techmarine got the cat, now runs away. Warboss goes for the VP. There's the 2 to 1 for Techs. Can they hold the mid though? Storm Boys go for the jump. Pain Boys there. They've already got their heal going. Oh, we have Vanguard Veterans now. That's one way to heal up your Assault Marines. Turn them into Vanguard. 96 to 52. Where's that war truck? It's gone to the middle. And now those Vanguard Veterans can't get melter bombs. They still have the melter on the Techmarine though. Melter gun, that is. Foot of Gork. Did a great job forcing off all those Marines. Good shot on the Vanguard Veterans too. Everything just piles into the war truck. They can get a heavy melee weapon option, a Power Fist. But no sign of it at the moment. Are they going to just try and tank that damage and go for a decat? Don't think it's going to work out because there's a... Oh, drop pod. I was going to say there's a weird boy in there. Well, here comes something. It is... Oh, more Marines. I was hoping maybe it would be another Venerable. That would have been awesome. Can't afford it. Storm Boys are going to jump the Vanguard Veterans, I think, or maybe just jump the Devastators. There's the jump. Gets them out of there immediately, 17 to 52. Stone Guard hanging in there, popping, and they shall know no fear. But that's a lot of stuff. Lots of Daka on you and Storm Boys in there. And the Pain Boy, of course. Vanguard Veteran is now starting to hit back. There's a Merciless. It's a pretty good one. Storm Boys jumping back towards the war truck, which then goes down. Can they take out those Storm Boys? Just saw a heal over time there from the Pain Boy on... I think they healed the shooters, though. The Storm Boys did indeed go down. Has Kickin turned the corner here? The Vanguard Veterans have done amazingly well. Well, Assault Marines / Vanguard Veterans have done really well, taking down the Pain Boy. But do they have time to cap here? 8 to 52. I don't think they have time. Warboss guarding the northeast, and we have Tank Busters guarding the southwest. And looks like, yeah, they've run out of time. They'll take a knee and live to fight again, I suppose. The Techmarine was down in the northeast. Maybe the Warboss peeled his head off, I'm not sure. He had a level 5 Techmarine and a level 5 Warboss. Was getting the trophy rack at the end. Would have helped shut down some of the damage of all this Marine blob here. But didn't need it. Got the 2-to-1. 52 VPs remaining. Was really close. A tier 2 Ork army versus a tier 3 Space Marine army. I don't think the tier 3 brought that much to Kickin. The Venerable was really fun. But maybe Terminators would have been the smarter pick. Maybe. Tough to say. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.